And welcome to the Part Time Nerd Podcast with me, your host, Alan. And joining me today is one Mr. Rapid Dave. How are you doing, buddy?
Doing great. How are you today?
You know what? I'm just living the dream. Living the dream. Here we are to check out the 2009 version of Disney's A Christmas Carol. This one was starring Jim Carrey as Ebenezer Scrooge, and he played all the ghosts. Uh, I think a few other parts. You also had Gary Oldman in here, Colin Firth, Robin Wright, and the great Bob Hoskins.
Stay
What
hard, Bob.
right? So, what are your thoughts on this classic
I
tale?
mean, for me, I've never seen it before.
Okay,
I've never sat down and watched it. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why. I know it came out. Would you say it was 2009 or
2009. Yep.
2009? An hour and 36 minutes long. So it's not like it's a long, hard watch. Um, but I was very intrigued. I liked the animation of it. I did like the dialogue. He plays a good Ebenezer, and I like how that when they did the animation, they made the characters resemble the voices for the most
Right.
part, right? You can look at Ebenezer and you know it's Jim Carrey. You look at Bob Cratchit and you know it's Gary Oldman. So I
Right.
really enjoyed that part of it, and that might have kept my attention even more.
Okay.
The ghosts were really good, and I really did. I did enjoy it. I didn't turn away and like, oh, this is boring or this sucks. I thought it was fine.
Yeah, and this was more of a classic retelling of it, more based off the book than some of your other iterations of A Christmas Carol, where they take some certain liberties and adjust some things here and there. This was strictly kind of like a reimagination of the book, just putting the book into picture.
Mhm.
But it's fun. I definitely enjoy it. It gets to the point quick, right? It's very much you don't have a lot of time between when the movie starts and the ghosts start showing up. This is mostly spent on his time with him and all of the ghosts. Now, I did think the Ghost of Christmas Past was a little creepy. Um, he was definitely creepy looking, with that little Jim's head on the flame, Jim Carrey's head on the flame. He was just, I don't know, he didn't sit right with me. I was like, man, that guy's creepy.
I think he's meant to be a little creepy, and
Yeah,
I'm looking at some of the ratings for this movie. You got 53% on Rotten Tomatoes, 55% TV Guide, 6.8 out of on IMDb, and that always seems to be completely different than Google users, right?
right.
93% like this movie.
Yeah,
So, I mean, it's 2009. It's not that long ago. We're talking, was that 12 years ago, 13 years ago, and I say it still holds up. I think you get a lot more value out of it because you are sticking to the novel. You're
right.
sticking to the story. Yeah, it hops right into it and it gets going fast. But I think it's Disney's take on it and trying to keep it at an hour and a half. You don't want this movie to drag on. It goes to an hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours. All of a sudden, now it's a long movie. It's
Right.
animated. It. But I thought it was great. First time watching it, first time, I like it. I could put that in the rotation at any time at this point.
Oh yeah, and this one's definitely in the rotation here at our house. We've been watching it for years now. It's one of those that we always make it a point to watch this during the Christmas season. We've got our whole slew of it's a Christmas Carol um, to watch, including Scrooge, the Muppets, and some of the other versions. You've got I'm drawing a blank on the one that's a really great classic, and of course I am because we're recording right now. So, but no, it's fun. I definitely enjoy it. You can't go wrong with a Christmas Carol, right? It's
Mhm.
just it's a timeless tale. It's a classic. It's one of those stories that no matter who you are or how old you are, it kind of stays true. Now, I can see this one being sometimes for the kids being a little bit more creepier in certain points and things like that, but all in all, it's good. The animation, I love the animation on this, um, and I thought Jim Carrey did a great job. Like I feel like this is kind of where Jim Carrey should be now, is in the voice acting realm and doing a lot of the animated stuff because he's got that voice for that, where he has a lot of range with it.
He's got a ton of range. Ever since he, jumped on the scene, what was that, in Living Color? That's when you get
Yeah,
your first look at him. You knew immediately that this guy had character. He has so many characters, right? And he's able to do so many great things. But, he his career has kind of been a little bit physical comedy as well. You know, he
Yeah.
has some serious movies out there, but he's still doing physical comedy, like falling off a motorcycle or doing this, doing that. You know, it just that's Jim Carrey. But I would love to see more of him doing voice acting at this point. Maybe he does. I haven't looked it up. Don't even know.
Don't even
But
know.
that's
Don't
something
even know.
that it could definitely be done by him because he's so fantastic.
Yeah, and he's done a couple different of the Christmas movies. He's done the Grinch, which I really do enjoy his Grinch, and we'll definitely do that one later this month and talk about that.
Mhm.
But I mean, Jim Carrey's just one of those great comedic actors, and let's get hashtag more Jim Carrey in animation. That's all I'm saying. Like, I, I need it. I want it. Um, and if you don't think you need it, you do. You do. You really do. And I mean, and you've got a lot of other great cast members in this too. I mean, Gary Oldman's just he's freaking Gary Oldman, right? You
Mhm.
gotta love Gary Oldman. Robin Wright, she's good. Colin Firth, he's a great actor in himself, and Bob Hoskins. I mean, you can't go wrong with this cast. You had a great cast in this. The we said it several times. The animation is awesome. It's just all in all a great classic movie. If you haven't watched it, watch it. It's well worth your time. Like you said, it's a quick hour and a half, and it goes by fast too.
Mhm.
Like, it's one of those where you don't realize an hour and a half has gone by, because I
Yep.
think that's because you're kinda used to A Christmas Carol lasting a little bit longer. I think most of your iterations of this are over an hour and a half. Some of them come close to around 2 hours, but I think you can make it go a little bit quicker because of the animation. You have more things you can do with the animations that you can't do with the real life acting.
Absolutely.
Yep. You got anything else on this one?
It's free. Watch it on Disney Plus if you got Disney Plus. Take a
There you
crack at it.
go. Hey, check it out, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, comment, follow. If there's anything you want us to watch, shoot us over an email, parttimenerdpodcast@gmail.com. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys later. Deuces.